When the Titans dominated the cosmos, Prometheus emerged, a direct son of the Titanic lineage. His grandparents, the immutable Gaia and the ethereal Uranus, had given him a place of prestige in this intricate family network, making him a cousin of Zeus. Despite the deep blood ties that bound him to the Titans, when the sparks of war lit up the sky, Prometheus, with a rebellious and loyal heart, chose to align himself with Zeus in his epic battle against Kronos. Prometheus, cunning and courageous, had a beating heart, singular among the Titans. He was deeply entwined with the destinies of humans, those frail creatures struggling with the hardships of earthly existence. While Zeus, from his throne on Olympus, looked down upon them with contempt and was ready to eradicate them as if they were mere insects, Prometheus contemplated them with a protective tenderness. It was whispered among the corridors of Olympus that such love was not mere whim, but that Prometheus, with his divine hands, had molded the first men, blowing life into their clay. This secret devotion to his creations, more than any other act, would define their eternal destiny and that of mankind. Having no power over fire, mortals lived miserably. On the night, they could only protect themselves from the wild beasts by hiding in the depths of caves. They could not work metals to make weapons or tools and had to be content with what they could make by carving stones. They ate their food raw and lived almost like animals. Little could their intelligence do without the fire that Zeus denied them. The one who worked with fire all day long was one of Zeus' sons, that grumpy god named Hephaestus, who was married to the most beautiful of all the goddesses, Aphrodite. In his forge in the depths of the earth, under a volcano, Hephaestus made the weapons of the gods, with the help of the Cyclops. Prometheus, ever the cunning one, sought the company of Hephaestus in his fiery forge. As they talked, under the heavy curtain of smoke and the clatter of hammers, Prometheus hatched a plan. Unnoticed by Hephaestus, he slipped a few flaming sparks into a reed, as subtly as one who steals a sigh. As he walked away, the reed, insignificant to the eye, held within it the secret that would change the destiny of mankind. And Prometheus, with his triumph hidden, walked on knowing that he had stolen more than fire. He had stolen hope. Prometheus, with his eternal mischievous smile, appeared before men with a hidden gift in his hand. But this was no mere gift, it was a key to a new world. He handed them the fire but did not stop there. Like a father teaching his child to walk, he showed them how to nurture it, how to keep it alive, and how to turn that spark into a torrent of possibilities. Under his tutelage, men learned how to shape their homes, how to forge weapons that reflected their bravery, and how to create tools that extended their reach. And armed with that fire and the knowledge of Prometheus, men, for the first time, rose, looking down on the world from a new height, feeling themselves kings in a realm that, until then, had been savage. Zeus, with uncontrollable fury, contemplated Prometheus' betrayal. It was not just disobedience, but a defiance of divine nature. The consequences must have been unimaginably cruel. With chains forged by Hephaestus himself, he imprisoned Prometheus in the desolate heights of the Caucasus, where not even the comfort of the wind could reach him. But that was not all. He sent an eagle, whose wings obscured the sun and whose eyes reflected the fiercest storms, to tear out Prometheus' liver each day with an insatiable hunger. In an act of poetic cruelty, Zeus allowed each night, in the loneliness and cold, the liver to regenerate, promising endless torment the next day. Prometheus' tears, meanwhile, became rivers, and his cries echo that still resound in the mountains. And Zeus, with his firm resolve, swore that time would stop before Prometheus found relief from his chains. Time, that imprecise fluid that the gods ignore, slid mercilessly over Prometheus. Was it days, centuries, or eons? On the mountain, each moment seemed eternal, and only pain marked its passage. In that immemorial context, the shadows of history began to weave a new chapter. Heracles, a mortal with divine blood in his veins and the scars of his exploits on his skin, crossed that forgotten place in search of the Garden of the Hesperides. With his bow in hand, he recognized the injustice unfolding before his eyes, the ancient Titan, bound and tormented by that cruel eagle. With a precision that could only come from someone divine and human at the same time, Heracles launched his arrows, putting an end to the winged torture. The chains that had held Prometheus for eons yielded to the strength of Heracles as if they had always been waiting for this moment. Prometheus, with newfound freedom and relief in his eyes, not only expressed his gratitude but shared his wisdom. Between the two, in that forgotten corner of the world, a bond of mutual respect was forged. The Titan was grateful and the hero, even greater for his compassion. Zeus was at a crossroads. He admired the bravery of his son Heracles and, despite the anger that burned in him, a halo of pride was drawn on his countenance. But Zeus, who was the law and the promise, could not simply let his oath dissipate in the wind. And then, in that vast divine mind, a spark of ingenuity arose. He commanded Hephaestus, the craftsman of the gods, to devise a jewel that would be both a symbol of liberation and condemnation. From the steel that had imprisoned Prometheus, Hephaestus fashioned a ring. And, as an echo of his torment, he embedded in it a fragment of the same Caucasian rock that had witnessed his pain. With the ring finished, Zeus gave it to Prometheus, demanding that he swear never to part with it. Thus, with cunning worthy of the king of the gods, Prometheus was released, but he carried with him, on his finger, the eternal memory of his captivity. In a twist of divine irony, although his feet could roam the world, he would always be, in some way, tied to that corner of the Caucasus.